Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberin time! Clobberonimo!
Come get some.
It's Clobberin time! Clobberonimo!
Groovy. Yeah, groovy indeedishness. Welcome, welcome, and greetings, my dear friends, on this lovely Yuletide Christmassy thingy or whatever and stuff things. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from the Clobbierishness or Clobby. I am the Clobbier. Merry Christmas from me, the Clobberonimo or something. What am I? I don't even know what I am anymore. I'm the Clobberer. That's right. Well, and so are you. You're Clobberers, you're Clobberonimos, you're Clobberoids, you're Clobberooskies, you're Clobberologists, you're Clobmonsters, you're clobs of some sort. But those of you who are not yet a clob, fear not, because there's an easy way to become one. And the secret is, of course, as the Wagner tells us, to bang the rocks together, guys. So anyway, welcome to Clobberin Times issue number 707 on YouTube. Number 1407 overall. And it is, of course, Monday night Mark C. Comics Talk, where we, named after our dear departed friend who we miss very much, especially in a night like a Christmas night. We miss our buddy Mark C. Anyone wants to put an M in the chat for the great Mark C. We'll never forget him. Can't believe it's getting on to be, oh my goodness, is it getting on to be 3 years? Is it getting on to be 3 years? Oh my God, in March? Oh well. But we love him, and we'll always miss him. Great Mark C. But thank you all for being here with me tonight. Thank you. I hope you're all having a wonderful, or had it, well, still having. Technically, there's a little bit left. There are a little under 3 hours left in Christmas for me, where I am, and some of you have a little bit left in yours, depending upon where you are, of course. But just thought I would just hang around. I mean, obviously, it's the Mark C. Comics Talk tonight, and we'll talk some comics, but it doesn't have to be comics. It's just going to be a Christmas hangout. Mark would understand. Yeah, and he would be here if he could. Actually, if he were still with us, he'd be doing all kind of family stuff as well. But got all the family stuff out of the way. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. I'll do just a quick show notes and shout outs, and then we'll get started. Show notes are not much right now. Just Wednesday night, I'll be here for the usual wild card Wednesday night. It'll be again. We're still in the holiday weeks, so it'll be nothing. Just me hanging out like I always do on Wednesday nights. Anything goes, open geek talks. But, wild card Wednesday night means sometimes there can be a topic if we need it for a topic night. That's the night I use for a topic night that just comes out of nowhere that I want to use that isn't comic related usually, and even is sometimes, but can use for other things. Because, I geek out about a lot of other things than just comic books. And then that is, and all my shows, all four of my shows that I do are on at 9 p.m. Central. Yes, each night. Of course, I'm on a lot of other. I stream 7 days a week, even though I only do 4 of my own show here. For those new, but I'm Tuesdays and Thursday nights. I'm hanging out on the Great Midnight's Edge After Dark on Tom channel with my great buddy Tom Connors. Also, like on Wednesday nights when he's having it, I'm there with the great Stone Loki, my good buddy, on his comic book roundtable, and then of course J-Man on Mondays and Friday nights, my great buddy J-Man. But of course, before that, Thursday nights I have the Clubhouse, and again it'll be kind of a laid-back holiday type of a Clubhouse, chill stream, as the kids say. I hope the kids say it because I certainly don't want to be the one saying it. But yes, again, Merry Trekmas to you. Merry Christmas to you all. And I hope you all had a great Christmas day. What else? Oh, yeah. Of course, Friday night, we'll be finishing up. Both Sean and J-Man and I on their channel, 7 p.m. Eastern, are finishing up our epic review of Jack Kirby, the great Jack Kirby's King of Comics' Fourth World Saga. It's taken us like 20 segments to do so. So there's that. Now some shout-outs. Oh, and then Friday night, after that, I should be hanging with 32 Flavors of Dignizer, the boys on Friday night comic shop talk. And then Saturday night, Star Trek. Again, an open Star Trek show, as I did this past week. And I want to thank everyone who showed up for the open Star Trek show this past week. Thank you so much. The following week, we'll be back with our usual Saturday night Star Trek reviews, 4 more episodes of Star Trek Voyager. In the meantime, let me do some shout-outs. First, of course, to our great wrenches. The great Eric K., the wrencher of Bronze Wrencher. Appreciate you always, buddy. I don't know who's here yet or not, but I shout them out whether they're here or not, the wrenches. Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the Great White North. Hope you both are having a wonderful Christmas. Hope you're simply having a wonderful Christmas time. D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Lord Thoth, the god of the wrenches. Shout out to his better half, the wonderful Lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, my brother. J-Man, Wrench Without Fear, and partner in crime on Earth B, and of course, Legionnaire Extraordinaire, Reviewer Extraordinaire, and good pal. Maddie's daddy, Legion of Legionia. And that, the Super Wrench, Kal-El. Fanty Outsidery, the Rascally Wrench himself. Hungry Boy, Master of the Clobberin, and of course, Maximum Redstone. Our own music master. Now let's see who is with us tonight so I can shout you all out. I'm glad to see you all here. Before that, thank you all who are lurking. I always appreciate my lurkers. Thank you so much. Again, you mean a lot to me. Also, a shout out to anyone who's watching on a download or a rewatch, however you want to call it. Thank you so much. You are too kind, and I appreciate you so much. And I hope you had a wonderful Christmas as well. FKHC 2005. What's up, my Fairfax buddy? Merry Christmas. J-Man's in here. I mean, hey, buddy. Merry Christmas to you. Gene Roddenberry. Gene, oh, my goodness. Well, I know you popped in Saturday night, and I was very happy to see you, and it's good to see you pop in, and Merry Christmas to you. I hope you have had and are still having a marvelous Merry Christmas and a Merry Trekmas to boot. Dave C., what's up, buddy? Merry Christmas, man. All right. Claude Salling, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Hey, Steven is here. All right. Merry Christmas, buddy. Mohammed Said, hail. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well and having a great Christmas. Picasso, Merry Christmas, buddy. Pat S., my brother. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, bud. Had a lot of fun hanging with you last night, and hope you had a great day, man. Hope you had a great Christmas day. Sean Estep. Hello there. Merry Christmas, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Salty Traveling Sea. What is up, Kimasabi? I hope you were doing well, sir, and hope you had a fantastic Christmas. Let's see. CLS Studio. Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you here. Thank you. Thank you for popping in. TZ Burton, Merry Christmas, sir. Hello. And that's everyone. Let's see. Slept 4 hours, huh? Well, yeah. I think I got a little sleep last night. I'm pretty sure I got some sleep. I don't know exactly how great it was, but I guess it was all right. So there you go. So again, that's what I'll just throw that question out there. Did anyone have an okay day, a great day, a wonderful day? I'm 84. Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you. Power 800. Merry Christmas. Hey, good to see you. I don't think I've seen you here before, Power 800, but welcome to Clobberin Times. Medi X-Man Miss to you too. And I hope you are doing well. And I hope you had a great one. Anybody had a, I mean, look, I usually on Christmas, look, yeah, I'm a single old geek. My kids are grown up. I don't always expect to get to see them, see both of them. Even though I actually do live with my son, even though he's in his 30s, so I get to see him a lot. And I knew I was going to get to see him and my parents. It was just kind of I didn't get to saw one of my brothers, and another one lives out of town, but I got to see him a few weeks ago, and I went to visit him, So I don't expect much out of Christmas, except we're going to get some good food and go be with my parents for a little while, which I see them every weekend. But then all of a sudden, out of the blue, when I went there, my daughter was able to be there with her, with her significant other and sister, and it was so wonderful to see them, and such a marvelous thing to get a chance, because I didn't think I was going to get to see them this time. Eventually I knew we were going to go see them next week, or in a couple of weeks we were going to get to see them. But they live a little bit of ways away, so I wasn't expecting it, and it was a wonderful surprise. Yesterday when we were told, so I got to hang with both of my kids and my parents. Got to see one of my brothers and a couple other relatives, but not a lot of us. But it was great. It was great. It was wonderful, and of course the food, of course, off the hook. So much food, because there were some relatives that were not able to make it this time that we thought might show up and weren't sure. So all the more leftovers for the rest of us. So it was a great day for me. And I hope you all had a great day as well. And I decided that, I decided that a great day on Christmas for me is, usually, they're fine. I never have like terrible days on Christmas. I'm just kind of, I'm sort of indifferent to them. I usually get a little bit depressed this time of year, like a lot of people who are single, but also, I'm going to say used to it. It's not that big of a deal. And Muhammad said, I've had a comic reading weekend. Cool. Nice. So, I decided that I should do something to punish myself. So, of course, I watched the Doctor Who Christmas special. Yeah, I did it. I decided, look, it's just not like you to have this good a Christmas. It was so nice, and it was fun vibes, nothing big, Can't post comments to some destinations. I'm not sure what that means, Badass. CLS Studio says today was awesome, but it didn't feel like Christmas, regardless of decorations are set. But I am thankful for my family presence and Jesus' birthday. Well, that's great. Absolutely. Weird. Well, again, look, in all seriousness, I've often said that no matter how horrifically stupid or bad or shitty something is, I can sit through any damn thing. Yeah, I heard that, Pat S., but I didn't get a chance to see his review. I know he hated it because he told me about it. But he said he was going to post a review. I have not gotten a chance to see J-Man's review yet, but if anyone does, let me know. I plan to go watch it after the show tonight. So go to J-Man's channel, watch his review, everyone. All I know is I know where he's coming from. Yeah, CLS Studio. That's right. Doctor, who cares? Clearly they don't. Your Muslim uncle. With a member chat. Member for 14 months. Thank you, buddy. He says, Merry Christmas from from Payless, Merry Christmas. From Payless, Merry Christmas. Payless, as in the shoe store. No. Thank you so much, Muslim Uncle. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and yours, sir. You know, can't post comments to some destinations. Yeah, that's on my thingy there. I don't know why it says that. Anyway, I just know that the 49ers are going to get their butts kicked by the Ravens, but that's the way it goes. So, I thought Chibi had left the show. This is just like Chibi never left to me. Clobby, in light of recent developments, I now refer to characters as Dr. WTF. Yeah, I don't blame you. There's J-Man's review right there for those who want to. Thank you, Pat S. If you guys, definitely go give his channel if you have not subbed to his channel, please do. And check out his videos. He has great videos and reviews. And check out his review of that. It's a chain store. A Payless? Well, there was we have Payless shoes stores chains in down here, your Muslim uncle. But that's all. We don't have any other type of Payless here. And Muhammad says, I'm currently reading X-Men issue number 99, and then Forever People, other than Savage Sword of Conan, then King Call, then more FF. Well, there you go. Great stuff. Read the old stuff. I don't know if I assume you're referring to older stuff. But yes, do that. Read the cool stuff. Read the good stuff. There's plenty of it. There's plenty of it that I don't care how long you've been reading comics. You've either might have slipped by you, or it's been so long in some cases, like with me, that it'll feel new because I haven't read it in 30 years or what have you, 40 years or whatever. And that's the case with a lot of stuff from me. But for those of you who are Doctor Who fans, I thought Chibi had left the show. Oh, it's a grocery department store. Well, okay, I got you, your Muslim uncle. Yes, that I'm not familiar with. I just know about the shoe store. So, all right. This special could have been made by Chris Chibi. Look, and I'm not the biggest RTD fan anyway. Is Chuchi as annoying as Jody? I don't know I'm not sure I can go that far and say that he's as bad as her, but he's not good. I mean, and the story was pure Chibi stupidity. It was just gobbledygook. Jacob Ironside, Merry Christmas to you. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the story was pure Chibi drivel. Mama says, I'm a rookie when it comes to reading comics. Manga turned comic reader. Well, you do. It sounds like you're doing well. From what you were telling me from those other, I don't know exactly which issues, but if you talk about X-Men 99, and that means you're the Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum run, and you're getting close to the the Claremont Bird run. I mean, if that's issues I think you're talking about, then I think you're doing well. Good to see you, Jacob, though. So this crap. It was like watching Chibi. Hey, Fanty. What's up, buddy? Again, I'm not prepared to say, hey, Adrian James, good to see you. Welcome. Merry Christmas to you both. I'm not prepared to say it's worse, but that he's worse than her, that Shooty is worse than Jody, because you can't be worse. You're not going to be worse than Jody, so he's not worse than her. Keely Chow. Roll that tide, buddy. Merry Christmas, Keely, and Merry Christmas, Adrian. But Shooty, hey, Fluffy T Cat, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before. In the Marvel Universe, the mountain did come to Muhammad with two M's. Well, Fluffy T Cat, Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you. Boy, dudes float through 4 interceptions tonight. Jesus, man. Oh, almost threw it up. Almost threw another one. So anyway, hey, Wes Cagle, Merry Christmas, my friend. Welcome. Good to see you there. Greetings, man. What a great crowd we're getting here. So yeah, if you are Doctor Who fans and you weren't planning on watching this crap, then you're a smart individual. I'd say just don't bother. If you're like me and you have to watch it to find out what all the fuss is about or to know so you can criticize and have something to say as a review, and you'll sit through any old crap to test it out like I did, there you go. Fluffy the cat. Got you, Fluffy. And it's good to see you. So, Adrian says the new Doctor reminds me of Eddie Murphy and Shat playing Doctor Who. I didn't get to see much of that game. I only glimpses and pieces of your Muslim uncle, but I do believe the Raiders won today, right? Did they win? Are they still alive for the playoffs, though, dude? I wonder. Well, they beat the Chiefs, so whether they're alive or not, I know you like to beat the Chiefs. I think they won, but I didn't get to see the end of it. So, yeah, I'm telling you, this is no different than the Chibi crap, except it's going to be even more annoying. I just don't like Shooty. And they're going to say they're all kind of dumb reasons for it. I don't think he's as bad as Jody, but I'll tell you this. This is my experience with every Doctor. I've been a fan for, like I've said, since 1981 or 2 somewhere. So basically over 40 years, 41 years, whatever it is. Ballpark. I started with Tom Baker. And I became a fan of his, and I like other Doctors. I mean, I like what I'd seen of a couple of his previous Doctors, with a few I got to see before Peter Davison came along, and I loved Peter Davison right away. I didn't need like years to get used to him or anything. I didn't need I didn't need a lot. By the end of his story, Castrovalva, I was ready to go with him. Same deal for Colin Baker. A lot of people don't like him. By the end of the Twin Dilemma, his first story, I was ready. Then, of course, later when I got to see a little bit of William Hartnell, boom, he's a Doctor. Fine, I was there. I'm with him. I'm on board. When I finally got to see a little bit of Troughton, a few Patrick Troughton episodes, and like the 3 Doctors, and then even in the 3 Doctors, and a couple of his episodes, the few I got to see back then, when I started being able to familiarize with Patrick Troughton, boom, right there, I'm on board with him. I didn't need any selling. He was a doc, and I loved him. And I'm a picky bastard. When it got to Sylvester McCoy, I know a lot of people don't like Time in the Ronnie. He's great. I love Peter Cushing as an actor, Fluffy, but he's not that Doctor Who doesn't really fit into the show canon. It's a movie that was made as a cash-in on the Dalek craze of the time, but that's neither here nor there. He's still great, though. Yeah, but I love Peter Cushing, so boom, I'm sold. Let's see. Then we get to Paul McGann in the Fox pilot, and it wasn't his fault, but it was badly written, and he wasn't written like the character, so I had a major problem with him. I got to hear a couple of the audio dramas that he did for Big Finish, and yes, he's pretty good. I like him. So along comes the revival in 2005. I was very skeptical going in. I saw pictures. I'm like, that guy's the Doctor with that weird, Fonzie's jacket. What's going on here? Took a couple, after a few minutes with Christopher Eccleston, I'm done. Well, yeah, he's good. I like him. This guy's a Doctor. Yes, he's younger, but he's a Doctor. I can go with it. I'm on board. Boom. Eccleston leaves a bit too early for those of us who are liking him, but hey, this David Tennant guy, he takes a long time for them to really get going in his Christmas special, the Christmas Invasion, because we don't get to see much of him. But almost immediately, I go, oh yeah, this guy's good. By the time that episode is over, I'm on board. Boom! I didn't need any coaxing. I didn't need any persuading. Good opener or bad opener, every time they nailed it with the casting. David Tennant, great, I'm there. Boom, I'm on board. Matt Smith, I saw when I saw the pictures of this guy, I'm like, he's 26 years old when they cast him. That dude is the doctor. Oh no, I'm not gonna like him. Say what you want about his stories that Moffat gave him. 11th Hour, his first episode. Within a couple of seconds, I'm really having a good time. And certainly by the end of that episode, he is a doctor. Boom, nails it. Love him. Love Matt Smith's doctor. Peter Capaldi. Hey, could not be reached. Good to see you, sir. Merry Christmas. Peter Capaldi comes along. Don't like his stories. Don't like the way any of his era was written, but him, great actor, in a good with better writing. I didn't like his writing, so it took me a while to get used to him. But it wasn't the actor; it was the bad writing, in my opinion. So, not his fault. Boom. As much as I can't stand the Jodie, anything about changing Jodie, the doctor's a man. I don't care what you say. If you can accept the woman playing him, that's fine. I don't. Nevertheless, let's see it. Let's see what the performance is like. If you're going to watch it, I shouldn't even watched it, but I did because I'm an idiot. And she was awful. And I gave her multiple episodes, see if she could at least be credible as an actress and a person, but no. She sucks. She's atrocious. She was never good. Jodie's terrible. Even in her dumb ass bullshit leading up to the Childless Children, Joe Martin is not a doctor, but the actress is credible at least. It's just a dumb story and it's idiotic, so she's no good. So now you get Tennant back, and he's not really like his old self. Still David Tennant. And he's in these terrible, shitty, awful friggin' 60th anniversary specials. So that was drivel. Now, in that last special, we get Chudy, and he's certainly not winning me over in that one, but I watch him in this one, the new special, number 4, which was the Christmas special. And I wasn't going to hold the story against him as much, even though the story was. You hold the story against who put the story out there. The actor doesn't make that choice. I was going to see, can I like Chudy as a doc, even if the story sucks? I mean, can I at least go, this guy's good casting? Can he? Now, they say he's a good actor. Probably is. I mean, he's been in business for a while. The writing is partially responsible. And so right now, do I think he's not as atrocious as Jodie, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not sold on him as the doc. I don't like him. I don't like him at all, and there's nothing really credible or likable about him in this episode. He doesn't endear himself to me, and like I said, all the other doctors, it took almost no, except for what happened with Capaldi because of the writing, and of course Jodie, who was always garbage. All the other ones, I mean, in just almost instantaneously, hooked me. Chudy didn't. Now again, we should blame writing to a point. The more, but in the case of Jodie, it was writing and her. It was her. She wasn't going to be good, even with good writing. If they'd had it, just they didn't have it. That's just an opinion. But Chudy, it was just the story's so ignorant, and he's just, like I said, he's not. I didn't find him detestable like I do Jodie. In fact, actually, in his first couple scenes, he's really annoying and cringy and oh god. But that's because he's dancing around and shit. They got him dancing in a kilt in a bar. I was like, that's not a good first impression for a doctor at all. You got to be, RTD. You can put that in other shows. Don't put that in Doctor Who, you moron. So the later scenes when we see him just basically being the doctor, are already kind of damaged by those early scenes. I don't know. I just don't know. But I mean, the show's in bad hands now. It's over, and I just don't. I can never see myself particularly, getting engaged with the show with Shooty as the doctor. Because they started him out so poorly, but there are lines in there that just again triple down on the timeless child or whatever. So irrelevant, really. It's crap. It's dead. Doctor Who's dead. So again, others may not, miles may vary, but what are you going to do? So anyway, that's that. I talked a little bit about the stupid, lousy Doctor Who, Doctor Not Who, not Doctor Who Christmas not special. So there. We could talk about comics now. I got that off my chest. Talk about some Christmas comics. Hey, Larry. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're having a Merry Christmas, sir. Mackie Draws, Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I hope you're having a great Christmas, sir. It's an honor to see you pop in there, buddy. That's because, according to the moron creators, this new, not the Doctor, remembers all the Doctor's adventures, but isn't emotionally connected to any of it, like a psycho. Yeah. Yes. I'm right there on the same page with you, Fanty. Not to who, they should call it. So, yeah. You're not really Doctor Who, are you? Yeah, you're not. No use pretending. So, and it's, it's going to be. Kal-El says, my father's favorite Doctor was Tom Baker. Well, yeah, your father's a smart fellow. Hey, Blunt Plunk Reviews. Merry Christmas, buddy. He says, some of my earliest memories are of him watching those episodes in his bedroom television. I miss him in that era of Doctor Who. I do too, buddy. I cannot tell you how many times, Stephen, I've run into people who would say basically what you're saying there. They would, if they weren't like hardcore Who fans, but they knew something of the show, very often you would hear them say, oh, I used to watch it with my dad. And he loved Tom Baker. He wouldn't watch anybody else but Tom Baker. Because, of course, in the States, and that's in the States, of course, obviously, because I'm in the States. In the States, Doctor Who's most, extraordinary moment of, or era, I should say, of popularity was throughout the 80s and into the 90s a little bit, and then when you get beyond that, a lot of people's best memories are of either watching Tom Baker episodes as a kid or watching them with their family as a kid, with their family, or a lot of times with their dad. And they remember being scared as a kid watching because they were a lot younger than me, and all that kind of fun stuff. And it's always it's great memories when you watch something with your pappy. So I understand where you're coming from on that, big time. And you also wrote earlier, this may make me sound like a Doctor Who normie, but I tended to enjoy the Capaldi era of Doctor Who episodes and Christmas specials. Not all of them, but most of them. It doesn't make you sound like a normie, I love the actor. I just thought the stories were awful, and I thought he was poorly written for. I think Stephen Moffat was just bored out of his skull when he was doing it, but kept doing it. That's because it was his job, and I don't know. I really don't like a lot of what he did there. So Ironhide said something earlier. Let's see. For some positive British comics Christmas traditions, picked up some back issues of a few days back. Coincidentally, one of these included an old Judge Dredd Christmas tale. Oh yeah, cool. Well, I love Judge Dredd. Wes Cagle says all I want for Christmas is more Voyager. You know, I'd be worried about you if I thought you meant that. I mean, you're the biggest Voyager fan, actually the biggest Voyager detractor we know. We know you love that Voyager, Westy. Yep, Voyager. Not a big fan of Voyagers, West. West said. I thought Doctor Who started in 1974 and it did in 1981. If you're a Tom Baker fan, that's all you need, I guess. Yeah, 7 years of Baker greatness. He's my favorite, but I love them all the real docs. A blunt plunk review says, hey, watched Aquaman 2 last night. Honestly, not bad. I liked it. It was fine. It was okay. I mean, I didn't dislike it as much as a lot of people did. I thought it was similar to the first one. I just don't like Momo. I thought the movie was almost exactly like the first one, and it's just kind of dopey, fun, one-time movie at the cinema where it's got enough going on to keep you busy for a little while, but it's got a silly nothing plot. Now, all the environmental drivel was annoying. The environmental preaching crap that I didn't like. I don't like Momo. I actually like Patrick Wilson. He was my favorite thing in the movie. I thought he was kind of cool because he should have played freaking Aquaman, not what's his face, Momo. RRTNZ, welcome, my friend. Merry Christmas to you. And so I didn't really hate it either, like a lot of people. I mean, it's not as bad as the Marvels or something. The Orm and the stuff with Orm and and Arthur in it were actually, for me, the best stuff in the movie. If you even care about the movie, and the movie's really hard to even. And it's just so mostly forgettable. I mean, it moves well. The visuals are perfectly fine. At least I thought. Some of the character, I actually kind of like that. I believe it, that scientist character. I kind of actually liked him for some reason. The guy who plays Jimmy Woo in the Marvel movies, he was okay. I like the popcorn that I had. That was particularly nice. It gave me an excuse to go have popcorn and cherry Coke, and then get a refill and bring it home and make it last a couple of days. So that's important when it comes to going to watch a movie. It got me some snow caps. Those were great as well. So those are some of the best things about Aquaman 2. It's a silly, but a superhero movie should have a certain level of goofiness because the concepts are goofy. I'm sorry. So he's a miscast Aquaman anyway. I don't really care about it that much. I'll never need to watch it again. It's like the first one. I watched it once. Captain Infinity and Beyond. Nobody cares. What's up, buddy? Merry Christmas to you. But I don't really need it. I mean, like I say, it's one of those movies I can watch and not have a particularly atrocious time. And I got my popcorn, had my, walked out. Things were okay. I got to bring the popcorn home and talk about the movie later. And that's that. Other than that, didn't mean a whole lot. And I think like a dumbass, I actually bought the Blu-ray of the first Aquaman movie. I don't know what was wrong with me. And I watched it one time and I was like, why did I buy this? This one, I wouldn't even buy it when it comes out. But it's just nowhere near as bad as something like the Marvels. Let's say as far as the 50,000 DC movies that came out this year, it's not as horribly stupid as The Flash, not as dull and dumbass as the Blue Beetle, not as wasteful and dopey and just, dull as Shazam 2 Electric Boogaloo. What was there? Was there another DC movie? Was there another DC movie? Am I missing? Well, again, I'm trying to remember. Was it those three? Was there one other? Black Adam was the year before. It was last year. We have a question. Sorry. Where? Let's see. Let me start some of these. Yeah, not rewatchable. I'm gonna start some of these comments here. Oh, Sparkle's Batman was 2022 though, Fanty. I'm talking 2023. There was, but there were like something like 8 or 5 or was it like 5 or more like superhero movies this year? Marvel garbage and DC crap. Let's see. RR says Fanty Outsider. That's one of the all-time great speeches in Doctor. Oh yeah, okay. Lost now. Sorry, the wrong one. Fanty says, get your snow caps at the former dollar store for now, $125, way cheaper. Yeah, but how old are they, Fanty? That's important too. I got a phobia about buying stuff that's too old. That's just me. Muhammad says, did you, Clobby, have you read the Conan the Barbarian from Titan yet? I have the first issue that a friend of mine gave me. Have not read it yet. I know they're up to like issue 4 or 5. But I will eventually. Kind of take a look at it because it's pretty cool looking. So yeah, I have not read it yet though, Muhammad, but I have the first one, so I don't have the other ones yet. Thoughts on Rebel Moon, says Adrian James. I have not seen it, Adrian. I've not watched it. I don't have Netflix. DJ Ronnie G, what's up, buddy? Merry Christmas to you. And Victor Fontaine, what's up? Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Welcome here, both of you. Thank you for being here. I have not seen Rebel Moon. I don't have Netflix, and I have no plan to watch it. I'm a big Zack Snyder hater. I don't like him. So it doesn't interest me. I've seen a lot of reviews that hate it. I have one buddy of mine that likes it. Our aforementioned buddy J-Man, he gave it a favorable review. So there you go. I loved Godzilla -1. That was like the only movie I really loved this year. I did like Sound of Freedom but other than that, stuff I saw at the theater wasn't particularly good. But yeah, I like I said, Rebel Moon's not something that interested me anyway. So I have to be. I hate to be fair to Hack Snyder because he doesn't even deserve fairness because he's a dope. But to be fair to him, this is one that I would take a look at even if I didn't know who he was and go, another Star Wars ripped. And it really was actually because he was intended to be a story. So I'm like, they're running around using lightsabers and it's not an actual Star Wars. At least it looked like in one of the trailers. So I didn't really get interested in it one way or the other. Yeah, nothing. I mean, look, and if you didn't like it, I hear they're doing like he's going to come out with some special like director cuts, like he always likes to do. Let's see here. Yep, Godzilla won the box office, huh? Well, it was great. Victor said, yeah, for those DC were the previous, Flash, Shazam 2, and Blue Beetle, and then, of course, now Aquaman 4. So 4 DC movies this year, and all of them are kind of, Ravenscroft, Merry Christmas to you. Great to have you here. Good to see you, my friend. Blood has you says, I have a love-hate relationship with Snyder. I haven't mastered the love part yet, so I got nothing but hate for him personally. Metroplex. Hello there. Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you, Metro. I hadn't seen you here before. Says Rebel Moon looks like it's woke. I have not seen it, so and I haven't got a chance to see any of the reviews that say whether it is or not. Someone says basically it's Battle Beyond the Stars, says Ironhide. I actually watched Battle Beyond the Stars last night. Far better movie. I love Battle Beyond the Stars. I need to watch that again. I saw in I think it was 80 when that came out. I must have went to the theater and saw it 4 or 5, maybe 6 times. I would have saw it more than that, but it didn't last in the theater that long. I mean, that was when I was going to see Empire over and over again. And then later when Flash Gordon movie was coming out over and over again. What the hell? Clobberin, Fanty says, allegedly there's going to be an animated Watchmen movie in 2024. What? What? Yes, Metroplex, I do. I've heard that there's more to go for the Rebel Moon saga. There you go. Well, maybe somebody's liking it. The only person I've seen on the planet is my buddy J-Man, and he's a very honest feller. And he'll tell you his opinion whether it's popular or not, which is one of the. He's a buddy anyway, but that's another thing that's cool about him. He doesn't care what anyone thinks of his opinion. But I have not seen it. But in fairness, I wouldn't watch it anyway. If everyone was bouncing off the wall saying how good it was, I'd be like, yeah, because a lot of people said that about the stupid Snyder cut, and I hated that crap. But it was superheroes, so I was obligated to watch it. These are no characters I care about, so I wouldn't really give a crap if everyone were giving Rebel Moon like 10 out of 10s and saying it's the greatest movie ever. I would still like, it's Snyder. It doesn't have any characters in it that he's not running any characters I care about, so I don't even want to bother watching it. I don't care. Just the way I am about Snyder. Whoa, that was terrible. That is crazy. I remember many moons ago, Star Wars had a holiday special, yet it didn't turn out to, well, no, it didn't turn out too well. Yeah, understatement time there, big time, buddy. But I do love Battle Beyond the Stars. Yeah. An animated JLA Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, they got one coming out. Ugh. It's that animated Crisis on Infinite Earths is the follow-up to that shitty animated film they did about Warworld, which sucked. I hated that one. Blunt, that's okay. Random's cool. This is an open Christmas comics and other Geek Talk night. So, Club's random one here, but it's Christmas. Why not? Yeah. You ever watch Mad Men? If so, brief thoughts. I have not watched it, sir. I only have one thought on Mad Men because I've not watched it, so I have nothing against it, of course. But it has Christina Hendricks, so it's always going to be okay by me. Because she's my future wife. I love her. Yeah, J-Man is. That's right. I agree with that. Blunt, I agree with that. J-Man is the man. Yeah, yes, Ravenscroft, I did hear about Ryan Coogler doing an X-Files. All I can say is sorry, X-Files fans. You have my sympathies. Never the biggest X-Files fan. I don't have anything against it. But if you are a hardcore X-Files fan, and I know a few of them, he's one of maybe not the last guy you want getting his hands on it, but after Wakanda Forever and his crappy Black Panther movie, I wouldn't want him on anything I like. And that's just me. R says, Rebel Moon is super diverse, but guess which ethnicity the bad guys are? I can't even imagine. Although doesn't make a big deal about it. Not really woke, just slow, and a ripoff of better movies, Star Wars and Battle Beyond the Stars. Got you covered. Yeah, so Battle Beyond the Stars, like you say there, Adrian, is a good Star Wars ripoff, but it was also, of course, a remake of Seven Samurai, just a space version, the way the Western version was, of course, done as Magnificent Seven, and I love it. I do remember Star Crash. Carolyn Monroe, marry me. Even to this day, I'd marry her, love her. But it had Marjo Gortner in it. It had Christopher Plummer, didn't it? Oh, my God. But Star Crash, yeah. Yes, I remember it, of course. Yes, Christina Hendricks. Love her. Yeah, she is the best, especially when she was on Firefly twice. Yeah, suddenly DC Animation has really gone to shite. You see, it was not that sudden for me, but anyway, let's see what you said. The LA Set Supergirl movie. I mean, that Legion movie. I'm told that I'm told by fellow Legion fans that I'm prohibited from watching that because it would be detrimental to my health, my blood pressure, and I could believe them. Because now that I know, they told me the plots, so they know I wouldn't watch it to risk my health. And yeah, when I heard what it was about, I wanted, destroyed. It's You think Bendis wrote it or something. Supergirl movie that was crap. Yeah. The Green Lantern movie was dinosaur-sized crap. Doom Comes to Gotham was mediocre. I've heard about that. I didn't see that one. But see, I've hated, this is where they started going awry for me personally, the DC animated films. Because I did love a lot of them early on. And again, this is not everybody else. Most people don't agree with that do with this, and that's fine. Just as the Screw 52 is where I got sick of DC Comics. Although it was actually, to be honest, I hate the Screw 52 was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I actually was getting a little bit fed up with DC a little bit before that because of all the events that were really pissing me off. You know, Vulcan lives. Welcome and Merry Christmas to you. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. So for me, the DC animated films went off the rails with the stupid adaptation of a comic that I hated also. Flashpoint Paradox. I hate Flashpoint. I hate everything about it. I hated that. And I made the mistake of watching the movie, the animated movie of it, and it was just repulsive. And then they went from there to Justice League War, and it was all Screw 52-y. And so from there on, they decided to, you know, their universe was Screw 52. And I was like, goodbye, go Screw. I hate you. They could burn in the everlasting flames of damnation for that. Wasn't until recently that one or two that I sort of like. For example, strangely enough, I kind of like that Super Sons movie they did last year because the characters actually look like themselves in the right costumes. And I can't stand Damian and Jonathan Kent. I can't stand, but some good friends of mine were always talking about how Peter Tomasi's run on the Super Sons comics were really good. Friends that I trust. They weren't my bag, but I trust them. So, which is fine. But I watched that movie just because I was sitting around with nothing to do. And because the costumes are right, and because they, you know, they were more faithful, I liked it. I actually liked it. Hey, Largo's Lair. Good to see you. Welcome. RRTNZ, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. You were too kind. Thank you. That's very generous of you. Merry Christmas, he says. He says, Merry Christmas, all. Battle Beyond the Stars made for $2 million. Star Wars 77 was made for $10 million. Rebel Moon had 100 times the budget and 1/10 the talent. Well, yeah, that's what you get when you get Snyder involved anyway, in my opinion. But that's just me because I'm anti-Snyder. But I hear you, dude. Thank you so much, RR. Clobby, we must agree to disagree, says RR. He says, I really enjoyed Flashpoint animation film, but JLA War feels like it was written by a 5-year-old. That's cool. John Rupa Shaggy, what's up, buddy? Merry Christmas to you. We can always agree to disagree, buddy. That's what we do here. We don't agree. We don't agree on everything, but the only one who's forced to agree with me is Mark D, because he's the first chief engineer. We have kidding. He and I don't agree on everything either. And Merry Christmas to him wherever he is. But let's see where we're at. Largo's Lair, thanks. Yes, Merry Christmas to you and God bless you and yours. I hope you had a great Christmas. Let's see. Here's another question. Out of the blue question. Just wondered, was there anything about the Screw 52 that you enjoyed? I thought most of it was blah, but there were a few bright spots. Well, I have to be way up front with you, Ravenscroft. As soon as it was, as you know, it was announced ahead of time, like they do. As soon as that was it, I said, "Well, I'm not touching it. I'm not buying it. I'm just refused." So I didn't buy it. What I would do is sometimes I would go flip through it, because how, look, when you say you're not going to read something or watch something, people will go, well, if you don't read it or watch it, it's any good. Well, first of all, comic books are very visual. And when they came out and told us what they were going to do in the Screw 52, all that stuff with the idiot Grant Morrison did with Superman, for example, the Superman's stupid costume. So when they tell you what they're going to do, I'm sorry, to a certain point, when they say to give you the plot and what the direction of the comic is going to be, and Merry Christmas to you, John Rupus Shaggy, then you know enough to make an informed decision to go, I don't want to touch that crap. So I didn't read it. Now, what I did is I went and flipped it once in a while at the store, and just it looked repulsive to me in every single way. So no, I can't say there's anything that I liked at all. I just no, there's nothing. And now what few I did read of it by just doing that, flipping in some, I was disgusted by, for example, Jeff Johns, that pig, who I used to like as a writer, did that horrible, what he did to Billy Batson and when he did to his stupid Shazam. I'm not going to call that, I call him Captain Marvel because that's he's real. He is Captain Marvel. In this case, I'll just call it Shazam because he did a disgrace. It was a backup in the Justice League Screw 52. What he did to Billy Batson, he could go screw himself. It was sickening. And again, like I said, repulsive. So no, my answer is no. There's nothing in the Screw 52 that I like, you know. But Ravenscroft, I will say that many people that I do like and respect did like certain things. Like a lot of people would tell you that they like the Aquaman series by Johns, and some like some of the Green Lanterns. And I can respect the people like some of that stuff, but just not for me. I was just said I'm teetotaling it. I'm not touching any of it, but I'm that kind of I'm one of those fools like that. Steven says, Clobby, have you ever watched the DCAU movie Justice League New Frontier? Oh, yes. It depicts many of the DC heroes in the Golden Age iterations and was pretty good. I love it. It's also based on a DC miniseries by the late great Darwin Cook. It has one fatal flaw in the miniseries, which they translated into the movie, unfortunately, and it's that really, really stupid crap about Hal Jordan being a fighter pilot that wouldn't use his weapons, that wouldn't fire on the enemy, which was not even moronic. It was submoronic. It was lower than moronic. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. It pisses me off. So I really do love that movie. So what they did to Hal Jordan is the equivalent of, let's say you got the greatest piece of chocolate pie you're ever going to eat. It's the most, you eat it, you take one bite, and you go, man, it is better than anything I've ever had in my life. And just a big one said, well, someone says, good, it's all yours. You go, oh, I'm going to eat this whole thing. And it's really good. But someone starts wee-weeing in it. And you're like, wait a minute. This is a great chocolate pie. Why are you doing this? Well, because I don't want you to enjoy it fully. So I'm just going to put some wee-wee in it there for you. And of course, it sours it. And it's disgusting the fact someone's wee-weeing in your pie. Pissing in your pie. I'm like, I can't. This is so good. I can't enjoy it. I loved it, pie, but you ruined the pie for me. You didn't. I mean, it was still a really good pie, but you ruined it. Well, there's that conflict going on with that movie and the comic because Darwin Cook, rest his soul, good dude, put, again, one of the stupidest things I've ever read in a comic book in my life. A character who happens to be a fighter pilot in the Korean War, Hal Jordan, who is allowed to go into aerial combat, but he refuses to use his weapons. He won't fire on the enemy. Now, I wasn't in the military. I'm certainly no military expert, but I go out on a limb and say that the first time you refuse to fire on the enemy in a combat situation, you're probably not going to be allowed to go back into combat. I mean, am I wrong? Correct. Anyone who's been in the military, you correct me if I'm wrong. It's so stupid. I wonder how the editors let him do that. I'm like, because it was a pretty realistic comic book except for that part. And it's a wonderful animated movie with beautiful art. I watch it all the time, but I have to cringe to those scenes. Like here, I'm eating that wonderful pie and somebody starts wee-weeing in it. Starts freaking pissing in it. If you can see what I'm saying. I would say excuse the crudity of my analogy, but don't excuse it. I don't deserve to be excused for saying wee-wee that many times. Let's just say piss. So, anyway. But Stephen, I'm here. I'm with you, brother. And I apologize for the insanity of that. Blunt Reviews, thank you so much for the super chat. You were too kind, my friend. Thank you so much. It says, Merry Christmas to everyone in the Clobberin Times community. Absolutely the best chat on YouTube. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Bar none. Oh, man. Well, you're too kind. Happy New Year. Here's to 2024, full of laughs and great conversation. Well, Spock's head there. Hey, Blunt, right back at you, sir. I thank you for those kind words and that wonderful, generous super chat. You are too kind, my friend. And I just heartily agree with you that this is such a great community and fellowship we have here with a great chat with some unbelievably cool people, just the nicest people you're going to meet. And I just appreciate you all. You've all been so great, man. Let's see. Ironhide said, Clobby, have you listened to interviews with Darwin Cook? And he was calling out the comic industry on their grimdark superhero BS long before the people were. Oh, yeah, look, no. I believe you. I mean, I don't remember reading any of those in particular. Nevertheless, and again, look, I'm not a big fan of being a stickler for realism in comic books. God knows, right? What I'm saying is Hal Jordan is not a peace pansy. Hal Jordan is not the kind of person who would go into combat and not use his weapons. I mean, look, if you're going to do it, go all the way. Make him a character that won't go into combat. But again, not only that, it defies even common logic. Even if, I mean, for example, if a guy says, okay, Sarge, I'll go out there and fly the plane in combat, but I'm not going to shoot at anybody. I'm not going to shoot at the enemy. Well, they're not going to let him fly, are they? Again, you guys correct me if you know something about the military that I don't, which would be a lot because I don't know much about it. I'm not in the military, never claimed to be. I love our wonderful service people who serve, and I just have every respect for them. But logic is logic, and that's logic. I mean, they have conscientious objectors all over the place, and they don't get sent into combat, do they? And not aerial combat as well. There's an actual scene in that movie where Rick Flag, I believe it was Ace Morgan, I think. They were flying together, and it was like their last battle. He goes, maybe you'll use your guns for the change, because they're flying out going in a fight, a dog fight. And he says, nah, I don't have to. He basically by the way, he flies his plane. He maneuvers it so he can make he won't shoot at him, but he'll make it so the enemy crashes. I'm like, well, how's that not killing them? Then he ends up in a fight with the guy and accidentally shoots him and needs therapy over it. I mean, God, not Hal Jordan. Oh, it makes me so mad. I mean, every time I watch that thing, it's like I'm just enjoying it. Beautiful art, great story, brilliant thing. And it's like you're standing behind me while I'm watching it, you're standing behind me and you're like pouring salt in my ear or something. Or pouring, in other words, you're doing something to like, you're pouring ants down my pants while I'm trying to watch it. Anything, it just aggravates the crap out of me. Now, I understand, Clobby. I did find it strange that Hal was allowed to get away with that decision and was allowed to. Yeah. I mean, it's a great movie and it's a great comic too. But yeah, I agree with you, Hal. On Hal, like you said, it defies logic, but I think he was trying to uphold the idea of superheroes not killing, even when they haven't gotten the powers yet. Still, yeah. I mean, well, exactly. Look, I'm all for superheroes not killing, especially the ones with superpowers. And I know some people like to say only a superhero is only a superhero if they have superpowers. I don't agree with that. But that's, again, neither here nor there. Like Fatty says, how does it make any sense? I am going to fight without fighting. How does he intend to protect members of the squadron on the ground? Yeah, it's without providing air cover. It's just, I don't understand what Darwin was thinking. I would like, because again, rest his soul, great artist. I knew some friends who knew him. I never met Darwin. If I'd met him, I would have asked him the question. But here's the thing: there are editors. Well, even then, I guess back then there were editors at DC Comics. Still, there are none now. Because an editor like Julius Schwartz, for example, would have said, "Well, Darwin, this doesn't make any sense. He's a combat pilot," and he wouldn't let him do it. Paul Levitz, was an editor. Denny O'Neil when he was an editor. Or Joe Orlando when he was an editor. Or, Jack Adler when he's now E. Nelson Bridwell. Any editor worth his salt. Even Jim Shooter, whatever. I know he didn't work. He didn't edit at DC. He was an editor at Marvel. I mean, he did work at DC, but it wasn't. Anyway, an editor would have said, no, you can't do that. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can do a lot of things, but you can't do that. I'm sorry. In fact, a real editor would say, you're not going to turn Hal Jordan into a pansy. Anyway, sorry I've harped on it so much. I've been doing that for years about that thing. Muhammad earlier said 1967 Marvel cartoon are awesome. Watch a lot of Spider-Man 67. One I did get a chance, FF4 yet. The Fantastic Four cartoon from 67 was one of my earliest. It was my first exposure to the Fantastic Four, in fact. It was one of my earliest cartoon faves. And that was when it was on the actual network. That's how old I am. Anyway. But I shouldn't be, I'm not trashing Darwin Cook, great artist. Quarter decorated fighter pilot WW2 when told about what a revolting development this is. Yes, that's what Ben Grimm would say. All right. Oh, boy. But I still watch the thing when I can because it's great. But it's DC animated movies. In fact, Loki and I were reviewing those until we ran out of ones that I wanted to review because we ran out of, I don't want to, we just wanted to do, have fun talking about the ones we liked. So for last year, or I think it was last year, year before, we did a series of reviews, monthly reviews, where we talked about DC animated movies, and that, of course, was one of them. But, yeah. And let's see, what was another one? But I talk about this all the time, when we're talking about animated. Because earlier we were talking about Aqua Bro 2, right? And you talk. There's been a lot of talk lately about the superhero film, superhero fatigue, and all that sort of thing. And I understand where people are coming from. There probably is a case of superhero fatigue with movies, but that doesn't mean if you made a good superhero movie, it wouldn't do well. It's just that there were, 9 of them this year or whatever? That's just too much. Next year, there's like probably 3 of them. And that's why. You don't need 9 ever. That's just silly. However, I've gotten to this point now because, for a short time there throughout the teens, I was enjoying the Marvel movies, looking forward to them to an extent. My good buddy Michael Retroblasting, he and I, we ranked our Marvel movies. We ranked them, the MCU/MCU. Shout out to the great Nerdrotic for coining the term MCU. I think he did. That's Gary's term. But, I'm to the point now, and I like a lot of them, and of course dislike a lot of them. But I think that I've talked about this before. I'd make a deal with them right now if I said, look, you guys let me have control of the animation departments, and let me do animated versions adapting some of the great comics, because now you have the I think the technology to not only adapt a great comic book story and do it right, make it look exactly like it came off the page, and even make it look like the artwork that it's adapting, and get all the characters right. You could do it in like multiple form if it's a longer story, or you could just do, if it's a saga. David Glenn, hello there. I just love to see that. More of that. They've done, like I said, they did it with a couple. We just talked about Darwin Cook's Justice League New Frontier. There was also All-Star Superman, which was, I thought they did a wonderful job on an animated thing, except it was they didn't have time to put the whole comic book in there. So it was missing a lot. I mean, man, I wish they'd done it all. I would love to have seen just like when they adapted Miller's Dark Knight, which again, they did a decent job of it. I'm not a big fan of that comic like a lot of people, but they did a decent job adapting it, right? But they did it in 2 segmented DVD sets. I wish they'd done that with All-Star Superman. Do all 12 issues of the damn thing. That's David Glenn. That's a good point, man. The Korvac saga, if they did it well. I love the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes was terrific, but they adapted that in 1 episode. There's no way you could do the Korvac saga in 1 episode. It was very truncated. Fanti says, if they put out 10 quality films, people would have no problem watching them. Yeah, it's the fact that they're crap. It's not fatigue. It's good taste. There's a different. I think there's a little bit of fatigue too, though. I believe. I think the fatigue is a warranted claim, personally, because every genre runs its course, and you have so much of it. I do think that, let's say they put out 5 a year, that they put out 4 or 5 superhero movies, and 3 or 4 of them are pretty decent. I think the fatigue would still affect them a little bit. One would have to do really, really good, and I don't think that it may have to be really, really good and get a lot of great word of mouth. I still think fatigue would affect it a little bit. I mean, it was a time that the TV Western ruled and the movie Western ruled, and then it didn't anymore. Detective shows, cop shows, you name it, certain types of genres that reigned supreme all eventually fizzled out, whether it was on TV and movies, and it was nothing to do with woke drivel or something. Woke crap doesn't help today, of course. So I think to a point, genres might fizzle again. And yet, still, when they make a good Western, even though there's no Western genre anymore per se that's dominant, but Tombstone's one of the greatest movies ever made. It came out a year when there was Westerns weren't a big it came out in the 90s, which you had a Western once in a while, but not like it was in the 50s or 60s when there were zillions of Westerns coming out. So I'm not saying they still shouldn't make superhero movies. Of course they should, if it's good. But I do think the clamor for the genres is toned down like that does with every other genre. Muhammad says, Clobby, I wish Justice League and Unlimited ran longer. Oh my goodness, yes. A little bit. Batman, Spider-Man, and X-Men 90s cartoons was amazing, especially on rewatch. Yes. And the X-Men cartoon's coming back next week. I guess you've heard about this, right? Yeah, they turned Big Jake into Taken, says Dave. I love Big Jake. That's like one of my favorite. And I love Taken, too. The 2 different movies. But yeah, David Glenn, I love Big Jake. That's one of my favorite John Wayne movies. But yes, the new X-Men animated is supposedly follow up to the 90s Fox series, which I binged a couple of about a year or so ago. I binged that because back in the 90s, when I saw it was on a streaming service. Don't shoot me, I have it because I have my daughter's codes. But I saw it was on there, and I was just kind of needed something to watch, and I started binging it a year or 2 ago, whatever it was. And because back in the 90s, I was on Saturday mornings. I didn't record it. I watched it once in a while. I had that great theme. But by the time that X-Men cartoon debuted in the early 90s, I was not reading X-Men anymore. I was done with the X-Men comic. I didn't like it. I didn't like what Claremont had been doing with it. And by the time that cartoon showed up, I didn't like the roster much. Not all of it anyway. I mean, the roster was, all right, look, I like some of it. You still had Cyclops. You had Wolverine, and I love that the Beast was there. Obviously, you had Storm, and you had Jean Grey. Jean Grey, I get it. But then you had Gambit and Jubilee. No. I hate Jubilee, and I hate Gambit. We barely got Colossus and Nightcrawler. I wanted Colossus and Nightcrawler to be regulars. And I'd rather Kitty Pryde than Jubilee. Yeah, why Jubilee? I couldn't stand it. But I watched the show. It was okay sometimes. Then the last couple seasons were atrocious. I thought. I mean, they got really bad. They started farming out to a really crappy animation company. Steven says, I think that superhero fatigue, in quotes, exists because the heroes themselves are no longer aspirational. Boy, that's for sure. Anyone, normies, are so concerned about seeing themselves on the screen instead. Yeah, no, look, there's definitely some of that. I mean, look, the fatigue wouldn't. Like I said, I don't think the fatigue is the only thing. I just think there's some value, there's some validity to the theory about the fatigue. I'm not saying, look, if you make a good movie, it'll conquer all. I mean, it will conquer. I mean, even if people are sick of superhero movies, you make a good one and enough people like it, it can still do well. Blunt says, Clobbs, you ever watch Comic Book Girl 19's X-Men Epic History? I haven't seen that one, but I have watched her channel a lot over the years, and I love her. She's awesome, and she's brilliant. She really knows her stuff. I absolutely, she's something. She's really something. I like her a lot. Ravenscroft says, yeah, I never got the appeal of Jubilee and Gambit or Bishop. Yeah, for me either. For that matter, look, that cartoon the Pride should have been. I mean, the cast should have been, or the lineup should have been Cyclops, Jean, I guess, although she should have been Phoenix. Wolverine, of course. And what you gotta have Wolverine. I mean, he was just he's a monster. You gotta have. He's a monster popular character. You have Wolverine. Beast was great, even though Beast wasn't in the group as much before. I love that they had Beast because I love Beast. I'm a big fan of the Beast. Then you get Nightcrawler and Colossus and Kitty, and then no Jubilee. And if you're gonna have Gambit once in a while, fine. But Gambit is a regular. And then they had Rogue. Sorry, Rogue. Fine. I'm fine with Rogue. I love Rogue. She's great. Rogue is perfectly fine. Not just because she's And Storm, right? Yeah, Storm. Okay, so that's the group, but not Gambit and Jubilee. Ugh. They hardly ever. I mean, they barely ever had even Colossus or Nightcrawler show up. Sucks. So, anyway, I've been all over the place, but Pride of the X-Men. By the way, I was mentioning that. Someone was mentioning Pride of the. Muhammad said, Pride of the X-Men. If you look in my description below, my good buddy Retro Blasting did a video about the Pride of the X-Men pilot that I worked on with him. It's my proud honor to have helped out with that one. If you want to take a look at that video, he's got a great video it's about the pilot and about the video game. Let me see. I'll put a link. Let me get here we go. Well, he has a great video about it that I was honored to be a part of. He interviewed me for it. From, I think it was about 2 years ago now. Okay, let's see. Here's the link. There's a link in the chat. That's a Pride of the X-Men video on my buddy Retro Blasting's channel. Pat, did you put it in there? Thank you, Pat. I'm sorry. Cool. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that, brother. So, yes, I had a lot of fun doing that with my great buddy, my great Retro Blasting buddy. Great themes, by the way. That show. I mean, that theme song. RR says my top 6 X-Men are Cyclops. I love Cyclops is my favorite X-Men. I know that's unpopular. Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Kitty Pryde. Well, there you go. Almost all the stories with those 6 as the team are great. I liked Rogue when she first joined. Was well written. Yes. I like Sabretooth and Wolverine in the 90s X-Men cartoon, says Mohammed. Yes. I hear you. Never liked Rogue, says Ravenscroft. I never forgave her for Carol Danvers, but I did like Dazzler in her old outfit. Did you buy the Dazzler series? Did you buy her standalone comic there, RR? Yeah, again, she should have been. Was Dazzler? Man, I just binged the thing, and my memory sucks. Did she? Was Dazzler on an episode of that show? I think she was. David Glenn says, I have quite a few Dazzler issues. Cool. She was on some, yeah. Never understood Claremont's decision to make Storm powerless, because then she took on more plot armor than Bantam. No, the Batman, rather ridiculous. Well, I think I dropped the series cold turkey. I was kind of on and off anyway. When they did Punk Storm, I was out of there. I'm like, I can't stand that. I hated it. The art sucked too. I think that was Romita Jr. If I'm not mistaken, she did show up for the Dark Phoenix saga as in the comics. Yeah, I think so. Ironhide. Yeah, I do believe so too. I think you're right. Well, anyway, we got the revival coming up. I think it's next week it starts. Okay, cool. Thanks, Pat. Yeah. Well, yeah, Colossus was Negasonic Teenage War. What? Something. Anyway. Oh well. Anyway. I wonder if it's going to just kind of pick up from where they left off for the most part and just try to be a fun cartoon. A lot of people are excited. I remember there was some talk a couple of years back when it was announced that, they were worried about it being, very, very, let's just say, how should we say it? Current day. Current day. Yeah, And we will see, of course, if that is true. And of course, some people, bristled at that. A lot of fans bristled at that, saying, what do you mean by that? It's not, there were some fights. X-Men's always been woke, even in the old. No, you don't know what we're talking about, of course. We'll see, though. Yeah, it might be okay. Yeah, it's true, Ravenscroft. We can't have anything nice, so don't get your hopes up. But I'll probably take a look at it. Unless I'll watch it when it comes. It's like I think it's a couple of weeks. So no, you're right. Hey, could not be reached. You're absolutely right. Don't get your hopes up. You can't get your hopes up on anything anymore. Nothing. It's just not worth it. That's why I'm so astonished when I watch something that I actually like. 2 weeks is coming out. Okay. Reacher, season 2. At least we got something to look forward to. I guess I'm glad they're dropping it slowly, although they put 3 episodes out and one at a time, because I'd have already had it binged in the first 5 minutes. We're so starved for cool stuff. Powerless Storm punking Cyclops for leadership of the X-Men was awful. Oh, God. Yep. They did it to launch X Factor, but it made zero sense given Sykes' previous strategic and hand-to-hand feats. Indeed, sir. I like Cyclops. A lot of people don't like him. Well, he's, I don't know. A lot of people just don't. I'm a big fan. Clobby, what character have you always liked a lot, but you feel never got a proper treatment or chance to shine? Marvel or DC, whatever. That's actually a fascinating question. I can give you one. I mean, well, I can give you a lot of them probably. I'll tell you one for sure. He had his own series though. But it didn't last long. It wasn't given a long enough chance. And then he was in a lot of other stuff. The Richard Rider Nova, I loved. And he was handled pretty well in the early issues. Then they just dumped a lot of crappy artists on Wolfman. And they really damaged the book. But at least he had a long shot, though. So let me think of somebody else. Wow, that's a good question. Damn good question. I think, and again, if you haven't one in mind, Raven, feel free to share. Anybody, if you have somebody that you could answer that question at Ravenscroft that you thought didn't get handled well, but should have had a chance. And that's almost, Alan Moore, when he was sane, once said that there are no bad characters, there are only bad writers. Son of Stan, you mean Son of Satan? Son of Satan, Gargoyle, Quicksilver, Shroud, Hellcat, Moondragon. You talk about some of those people were defenders, yeah. Dr. Fate's a good one, although he was handled pretty well sometimes, but yeah, he never got a chance in the Silver Bronze Age stuff. Yeah, I got you. No, I got you. I'll tell you one. This is going to be weird. The Golden Age Robin, the Golden Age Dick Grayson, grown up as an adult Robin, he should have had more stories. He should have had more stories. That said, man, oh man, that's a good question. It's too good. In fact, it's too good. There's so many. Always wanted to see Cyclops join the Avengers, said Fanty. There you go. Wonder Man would be one for me. I would say Wonder Man, Ravenscroft. I love Simon Williams as Wonder Man. He was good when he was in Avengers. They gave him his own book a couple of times. Miss Martin Muses, hello there. Merry Christmas to you. Good to see you, my dear. Hope you were doing well. Badass is Clobberin Times, not really comics, but still cool. The boys got me the Blu-ray complete series of Enterprise. Oh, nice. They probably browned it when they found out I was waiting to watch it in a few months. Oh, borrowed it. You mean browned? You mean borrowed it, right? Well, cool, man. Cool. Absolutely. I mean, he had his own comic for a while, but yeah. Well, when you think about it, there weren't very many successful series, even in the 70s and the 80s. Most of the series that had the long legs were series that started in the 60s when they were Atlas / turning into Marvel and establishing themselves. Marvel tried a lot. DC tried a lot. But a lot of series just kept going and it just kept getting canceled. Very few, stood the test of time. But there were so many comics you wouldn't know. You wouldn't think it. You just think that some of them have been around forever. No, how many of them were very short-lived? Quite a few. I've thought about that a lot lately, looking at these old series and stuff. Ironhide says, Earth 2 Robin was awesome. He doesn't suit up for the entire of the America versus Justice League Society, but still shows why he's the Robin. Yes, I love him. Commandy. Was my favorite series when I first got into comics, but no one could do that character justice outside of Kirby. Agreed, David Glenn. Love Commandy, by the way. Post-Gerber Man-Thing has never been good. Yeah, but Gerber was the best at Man-Thing. He was the best at Howard the Duck, his own creation as well. Two DC characters that never got the exposure they deserve: Red Tornado and Martian Manhunter. That's true. They never, but they were given series, and they're just, I don't know. I guess it's some characters just aren't. It's not. Well, how many characters that were backup BC list type characters that had their own, got their own series and maintained their own series? It's not that many when you really go through it. For DC, how many characters had a series from when they started as a creation to now? 2. A grand total of 2. Superman and Batman. Now, Green Lantern technically, but remember they changed Green Lanterns. And by the way, there have been times when this comic got canceled. Flash might be the other one, but again, they kept changing them over. Different, Wonder Woman got canceled a bunch of times. Now, she's lasted longer than a lot of people, but there were times when her series got canceled. So Wonder Woman, I got to go with 3. So we'll go with the big 3 there. Name me another DC character that was lasted since their inception. That's still not that they're still around today, but also their series never ended. Remember, Superman Action and Superman title never stopped. Batman and Detective never stopped. Wonder Woman started in Sensation Comics, and later she got Wonder Woman, and then it got canceled a couple different times. But she's the closest to them that kept going. Now they're doing Wonder Woman issues, but not many. Flash, again, technically, they just kept up. When Barry Allen took over for Jay Garrick, he took up his numbering. Green Lantern took over when Hal Jordan took over from. Again, both of those books had at some point or another been canceled. But they're the closest ones to come to like going most of the time without, having a series, but not many. And for Marvel, FF is the flagship. There was actually a short time here and there where the Fantastic Four comic wasn't being made, which is pathetic. Now, there's never been a time when, since it started, when an Avengers comics wasn't made in some form. Or Spider-Man. And of course, he's had various titles. Hulk, though, he's had stoppages in publication, but for the most part, it's gone on. Mostly Thor, the same deal, and even Iron Man, the same deal. Although Iron Man changed into different series here and there, but for the most part, there's never been a time when there weren't regular series of those characters. So you're looking at a handful. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't other popular characters. Of course, there's zillions of popular characters. My point is that maintain, since they started, at least one series or 2. So even some of the greatest characters at one part or another, they started, had their own series, and then it stopped. And they would end up another series, and eventually they may get another series here and there. My whole point being is it's tough to do that. To last 80 years like some of them have, and 60 years like some of them had. Not easy to do. It's a very, very, it's a rare thing. Now, the biggest, craziest rare thing of all is how Iron Man went from, he was, sure, when he finally got his own series after Tales of Suspense, or was it Tales of Astonish, whichever one, it was Suspense maybe. When he got his own series, he lasted, and he's always had a series. But still, he didn't hit it big, and, he had cartoons, but who knew who he was until the movies? So it's not easy for these characters to make it big. I would have moved the JSA Kids of Infinity Inc. to Australia and put Tornado, originally from Earth 2, and Manhunter as advisors to the team, says Fanty. Well, yeah, that would work. Yeah. Oh, dear. Anyway. Oh, my goodness. What a Christmas. What a Christmas night. It's always weird. Does anyone else feel weird when Christmas ends? It doesn't matter to you. Do you care? The good thing is you have the week to to settle it out. It feels, it'll still feel like Christmas. Except tomorrow. I got to go to a doctor's appointment tomorrow. But other than that. Yeah. Let's see. As soon as O'Neill removed John from the league, he basically became an obscurity. Yeah, that's another thing. Playing around with the roster of the league the way they always do. Justice League and Avengers and all this stuff. So many roster changes. But at least at DC, they didn't do what Marvel did. Remember they basically made the Avengers an army instead of a super team with all these different branches and crap like that. I can't stand that kind of stuff. God, 80s. Listen to me. I mean, the 2000s did a lot of crappy things to Marvel. People liked them now, I guess. So what am I? Ugh. If you like that sort of thing, yeah. Well. What's that? Yes, but Tornado and Manhunter are more team guys. That's true. Some guys are just team guys. DC always claimed Manhunter operated in the Southern Hemisphere. They should have created a team in Australia. Yep. Yeah, I can't stand that. Like you say, Ravens, everyone in the Marvel universe is an Avenger. It's ridiculous. They were starting that kind of crap a little bit even in the 90s. Yeah, where everybody has to be a freaking Avenger. No. I mean, in a sense, it was different to be a member of the Defenders because all it took was to work with them one time. They were a very loose organization that way. Anyway, I guess we could look at a Christmas. Who wants to look at a Christmas comic? Real quick, we'll just look at a Christmas comic because we always like to look at comics here. And then we'll mosey on out and let everybody get back to their Christmas. I was just reading this one. Why? Because why not? I'm the Thing, of course. Marvel 2-in-1 number 8. 25 cents. Approved comic book by the Comics Code Authority. The Thing and Ghost Rider. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Easily the most offbeat Hollywood extravaganza of them all. Gil Kane cover. Stan Nobody presents nothing, but it's The Thing and Ghost Rider together. Steve Gerber. Or they used to call him Steve Baby Gerber. Steve Gerber, Ritra. Sal Buscema, Mike Esposito, artists. Charlotte Cheddar, letterer. George Russo's colorist. Lynn Wein, editor. So this was not too many years, not too far removed from when the Ghost Rider started having his own series. Before the horrible movie. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie, Ravenscroft. Anyway, this issue's it's been a while since I've read it, but I always thought it was kind of cute, I guess. Silent Night, Christmas Eve, 1974, Deadly Night. 1974. So the Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, stumbles across the three wise men in the desert somewhere. And they're looking at a star. It's a star right there. See? Johnny Blaze is speechless. Meanwhile, at the Fantastic Four headquarters, the Backstep building, has Marvel Legends ever done that classic Rider? But I don't know for sure. I know they've done the figure without the bite, which is pretty stupid. But I do not think they. I don't know if they did the bite, but I can't answer that. Could not be. I've not seen it, but that doesn't mean anything. So Reed Richards is screwing around with sciencey stuff on Christmas Eve. Of course he is. Look, this is during the era of Johnny's red outfit. Am I the only one that liked Johnny's red torch outfit? I kind of liked it because it kind of reminded me of the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond. Fandy Outside, what'd you say? Oh, when I left collecting, the problem was the Avengers had everyone but were literally doing nothing. How can you have Thor, Hyperion, Smasher, Starbrand, wow, etc., and doing nothing except feelings in mansion hallways? Well, that's Marvel for you, isn't it? That's all they're all about is feelings. Feelings. Nothing more than feelings. Yeah, this is the era where Wondar was Steve Gerber had this Wondar character of a recurring thread. Medusa was in the group as well at the time. She's kissing Johnny. Uh-oh. Merry Xmas, Merry Xmas, Merry Xmas all over the tree. Psst. Oh, that bad, huh? Don't bother. I won't. I promise. I never even. Sounding like Deadly Night. What is that one? Is that just a dumb horror movie? Sounds familiar. So yeah, Ghost Rider's out there. He's finding out that it's an American Indian reservation, and they're all dressed like they're way back, whatever. And some dude comes along and says, "Get out of here." And he uses a tornado on the Ghost Rider. Poor old Ghost Rider, you think, would have been wiping the floor with this dude. So Reed wants to go investigate, but he needs to be with his family. So Ben says, get your rubbery butt back in there, Stretcho. I'll take the pogo plane and go take care of this myself. So, of course, Ben J. Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing, flies out. Oh, Santa Slasher. Gotcha. Crap. I hate slasher movies anyway. So he lands. I like the fact in this one, because they didn't really know Ghost Rider that well. Not much people knew much about him because your head of all the nutty, you're that junior great evil Knievel, ain't you, Johnny Blaze? I've seen your ads for your cycle show in the paper. That was some time ago, Mr. Grimm. So, but again, they don't fight at least. He's like, all right, I suppose what you wear and where you go are your own business. Anyway, so they got to find out what the deal is with this star out there, and this is so stupid. They blast a couple of dudes and take their clothes. Really, Steve? Good Lord, man. So Ghost Rider in the thing or put on some so Ghost Rider looks more silly than Ben does, right? With his look at that. That's I always thought that was hilarious. So then they bring back an old villain from freaking Fantastic Four #3 or something. Miracle Man, not to be confused with Alan Moore's Miracle Man. Oh, Kimota. So there you go. It ain't possible. Not the Miracle Man. The accursed thing. He comes with standard twirling mustache. This dude. They even reference, yeah, he's even crazier than he looks. You know, from way back, he mentions Fantastic Four #3 to be exact. So the guys got him fighting dumb monster thingies. Then he tells him a story. We must accept the fact that the eventual death is we have a beep, blah, blah, blah. He turns a bunch of, basically, it looks like he enslaved a bunch of these Indians. For what reason? You loathsome maggot-brain, dirt-eating worms, he calls. Wow, that's, wait a minute. He calls Ben and Ghost Rider, and then you dull-witted, earthbound lice, you loathsome maggot-brain, dirt-eating worms. You ruined it, made a shambles of the perfection I'd created. Well, there you go. And then, hey, Janet from another planet. Janet, Merry Christmas, my dear. What you doing there? I hope you're doing well tonight. Beautiful lady. All right, guys, get your bum straighten up. And ladies present. Good to see you, my dear. Damn it, Janet. I love you. Boom, 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 boom. We love you, Janet. Good to see you. So, wackiness ensues. And something's happening to Miracle Man's powers, and he's blasting Ben. And he's burning him up, burning things. Boy, Gerber was a wordy writer. Geez. Maddened with rage, the Miracle Man races through the streets, setting fire to all he sees as he makes his escape. And only when he reaches the ridge above the reservation does he pause to look back, to gloat at his defeat turned triumph. While back up in the inferno, whop! Oh, the monster's vanishing. I'm free. But how? Why? The Miracle Man wouldn't. The heck with it. It's time, you know. So anyway, basically, Johnny Blaze comes over there to help Ben. Nuts. I should have stayed out for the count. This is worse than the nightmare I was having. Cripes. The whole blasted city's going up in smoke. We got to herd the people out of. Leave that to me, Mr. Grimm. You go after Miracle Man. And let you face this danger alone? No way. This is just it. That's just it. I'm in no danger. I can't explain, but I'm certain the flames won't harm me. Okay, pal. If you say so, but you better not be shucking me. Shucking me? Thus, as Gia races from house to house, dragging the mesmerized Indians out of their death traps. Next year, my time will come again, for now this is victory enough even for a Miracle Man. Fella, you're going to look more like a miracle margin when I get done with you. Whoa. Fool, you should not have warned me of your attack, or had you forgotten, I could make myself your equal. Yeah, now you mention it, I did. Blah, 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 blah. Don't bother trying to wipe that gunk from your face, MM. I'm about to do it for you. Because we all know what time it is, folks, right? It is. What did Ben tell him? Ben said,
It's Clobberin time.
Yes, that's right. Good night, Ravenscroft. Have a good one. Thank you for being here. So Ben plasters him. Happy landings, chum. Just forgot the P on the end of it, chump. Alas, we shall never know whether it was happy or not for Miracle Man's unconscious when his body meets the earth. And insentient, he came a bit of this. Now, Chief was right. Come back and pulse our people, blah, blah, blah. I never explained what happened at this one. Sure enough, back on the reservation, weird. So the kid was the only one of MM's creations that didn't vanish when he did. Perhaps there is something special about the infant after all. You'll be made a ward of the tribe, Ben, and be well looked after. That's Wyatt Wingfoot. Sounds good to me, Wyatt. And you already you're cutting out Skullface? Got to, Mr. Grimm. Got to, Mr. Grimm. Now that this puzzle is sorted out, I've got some personal questions to wrestle with. Adios, folks. Something troubling you, Ben? I don't know. I can't figure why Miracle Man's blast didn't work on Blaze. And now Kami was so sure the fire couldn't hurt him. I know what Grimm was wondering, but even I don't know the real answer. Merged days ago. Whatever. Anyway, sort of a Christmas one. It was sort of a Christmas comic. Sort of. Sort of, maybe kind of just a little bit, you know. Gwaglar. But, you know, what are you going to do? So, anybody else have any comic or other geek-related questions to ask? I've already told you about the lovely, not so lovely, the idiocy of the Doctor Who special. Hey, Pat, you take it out, buddy. All right, brother. Take care, man. Good to see you. See you Wednesday night. Thank you, buddy. The great Pat, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, another lovely lady. We got two ladies here now. It's amazing. We don't usually get that. Sunbrat 77 Smith. What is up, my dear friends? Dear friend, Merry Christmas to you, and I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas. Just as I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas, Janet, and all of you. I'm sad to see Christmas end, but hey, as long as you had a good one, right? Did everyone eat anything good today for Christmas? I hope so. Right before we came on, I had round 2, and boy, am I just stuffed. Oh, boy. Round 2. Damn it, I'm out of punch. My mom made some really good punch today. I think I need to get me some more of it. So what did everybody eat today? That's a good question, Stephen. There are some wonderful Doctor Who Christmas specials. Any one of which I should have watched today instead of that new trashy one. But let's see here. I have them in order. Actually, I ranked them. There are 13 of them. 13 legitimate ones. There, of course, there are 14 now if you count that new trash, but I don't count it, but it's bottom. So I ranked the number 1 as the Matt Smith episode, which was called A Christmas Carol. Ham and smoked turkey. Had some of that too. I had some of that too. Janet, nice. Niceness. Oh, look at that. Chicken parm, lasagna, prime rib, still stuffed. Oh, nice. Nice. Gwagnar, you have to run, buddy? Sorry to chat run, but gotta go. Gwag, thanks for being here, buddy. Merry Christmas, my friend. Thanks for being here. My bestie Bill and I had amazing burgers and fries near us in Santa's Sabara. Oh, cool. Nice. I had some turkey and dressing and some great macaroni and cheese and some. We had ham. I didn't get a chance to get to the ham. I was so full. And then I had round 2 of it just a little while ago. Had some great chocolate pie. I think I'm going to go get me some more chocolate pie after this. Why not? I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I'm going to go back and say, well, I don't know why this is today because I was bad yesterday. I'd say A Christmas Carol, Stephen. The Matt Smith Christmas Carol episode is probably my favorite. I got it listed as number 1. Number 2, The Christmas Invasion with David Tennant. Number 3, The Runaway Bride with David Tennant. Number 4, The Snowman with Matt Smith. Number 5, The Next Doctor with David Tennant and the other guy. Number 6, The Doctor, the Window, and the Wardrobe with Matt Smith. A lot of people don't like that one. Number 7, The End of Time, Part 1 and 2, which I don't like much. David Tennant. Number 8, Voyage of the Damned with David Tennant. Number 9, The Time of the Doctor with Matt Smith. Later, Peter Capaldi. Number 10, The Husbands of River Song. Number 11, Last Christmas. Those are both with Peter Capaldi. And number 12, The Return of Dr. Mysterio with Peter Capaldi. And number 11, Twice Upon a Time with Peter Capaldi and David Bradley. Basically, those are the ones. But, yeah. I'm glad everybody got something good to eat, though. Got plenty of leftovers, too. Blue DL. That's cool, Clobby. As far as my own Doctor Who fandom journey and the reason why I don't mind and somewhat like Capaldi, I can sum it up in a couple of comments. Sure, go for it. David Glenn, I didn't realize that squeaking could be heard. We thought we had the noise canceling down. No, that's actually my dryer. I told my son made the mistake of turning it on just now when he did. I should have asked him not to. But yeah, it's our dryer. It's about on the kaputs, but it does it for a while, then it settles down. So I'm sorry you were able to hear that. I thought, not good. It was actually because of those aforementioned Doctor Who memories that I reacquainted myself with Tom Baker. So Doctor Who in 2015. I then started rewatching Dave Tennant and Matt Smith episodes. I then continued to watch and enjoy the Peter Capaldi episodes and specials. I checked out after he was no longer the Doctor, though. Yeah, I tell you what, I really tried with Capaldi. I love the actor, think he's brilliant and all that stuff, but I hated the way his Doctor was written, and I hated his stories at all. I just think he had terrible stories. Mama says, Clobby, I'm still going through Journey into Mystery, which is fun. Oh, cool. The original Journey into Mystery series? Doing the Kirby Thor, I take it? Great stuff. Mama, that's cool. If you're where I think you are, love those early Thors. Kirby Thor. Yes. Coolness. Nice. Can't go wrong there. I'm almost bummed that J-Man and I were this week. J-Man and Sean and I we're doing our last of the Kirby Fourth World saga that we've reviewed for it'll have been 20 episodes, I think. 20 episodes. We did 3 issues or almost 3 issues. I think we did 4 at one point. Merlin being evil's yeah, of course. But the Fourth World, Kirby's Fourth World, we've been having just a great time reviewing that. And after that, we're going to do Miller's Daredevil run. And we're even going to start before Miller started writing it, just when he started drawing it with Roger McKenzie writing it. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm not sure how many issues it will take us doing that. And then I'll come up with another a classic run of something to review. Could not be reached for further comment? Yes. Peter Capaldi is terrific in the thick of it. Yes, sir. Well, I tell you what, my friends, we've been here a couple hours and it's Christmas night. All probably had a big, busy day. So I'm going to start to mosey on out of here. We're going to say our goodbyes and just, get out on the usual. Usually it takes a lot longer for me to get out. We'll get out of the 2-hour mark this time. Probably go and rest a little bit. I'm tired. Who knows? Maybe have a snack and watch one other Christmas thing before Christmas completely evaporates. I don't know what yet. Maybe Die Hard, right? I watched Die Hard 2 the other day. You need to watch Die Hard. Good night, David Glenn. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you. And Merry Christmas to you. And DJ Ronnie G is just parking his Gundam. Merry Christmas to you and your Gundam there, sir. So, I just want to say again, final Christmas thoughts that I just really, appreciate you all so much for being here. Rambo First Blood, coolness, great movie. I appreciate you all for being here. All year round, what a great group. We have the best chat on YouTube. We have the best friend. Everyone's just the nicest place, most accepting place, and people make great friends here and stuff. And I just love that. I love it. It makes me, and people tell me that a lot. It's you guys that tell me that a lot. It's one thing for me to say it out of false pride or something, but a lot of you tell me that and have told me that, and that does make me proud. I'm proud to hear that. I just love it because we have a lot of fun and we joke around and cut up and kid each other, but we're all respectful and nice to each other when we disagree, and it's great stuff. There's Minimus. Minimus is here and he likes ham. He likes green eggs and ham. So, again, a big Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you for being here on this Christmas night. And let's see. Again, I should be hanging out with hey, Hungry Boy, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Merry Christmas. I should be hanging out with Tom on Midnight's Edge After Dark tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central. Loki and the gang, we're probably going to have a comic book roundtable Wednesday night at 7 Central. Then at 9 Central, I'll be right back here. Right back here doing some, open geek this. Thursday night, I'll of course be on Tom's again at 6, and then at 9 again with Raquel and Mark hanging out for the clubhouse. Just again, it's still a holiday week, so we're just gonna kick back and just have a relaxed holiday stream that night as well. And then Friday night, we'll finish our New Gods review, our last issue of our J-Man's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern, where Sean and J-Man and I will finish up our Fourth World reviews. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And then I should be over at 32 Flavors of Nick Wazers with the Comic Shop Talk Boys. I think if they're having a show, I don't know, but they might be. And then 9 p.m. Central, same Trek time, same Clobby channel. Saturday night, for the second week in a row, it'll just be an open Trek Talk with me, hanging out with you. Number one, again, still on shore leave. She will be back the following week, the 6th, to start back our reviews. But we love her and we miss her very much. But we can't wait to see her when she comes back. But in the meantime, we'll have some more fun talking some Trek. And so that is the way things are going right now. Let's see. Let me do my shout outs, of course. The great Eric K., the great Chris Persia, the great T. Bud Martin, the great Lord Thoth, the great J-Man, the great Matty Saddy, the great Stephen Callell, the great Fanty Outsidey, the great Hungry Boy, and of course the great Maximum Redstone. And now let me see who is here in the chat to say goodbye to. Could not be reached for further comment. Merry Christmas. I'm going to say Merry Christmas to everybody instead of just goodbye. Thank you all. Good night. And by the way, anyone who was lurking out there, thank you so much for being here. Merry Christmas. Anyone watching later on the download or rewatch, thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you, and thank you so much for watching. Let's see. Claude Parrish, Merry Christmas. Mohammed said, Merry Christmas. DJ Ronnie G, Merry Christmas. David Glenn, Merry Christmas. Could not be reached for further comment. Merry Christmas. Stephen M, all right. Merry Christmas. Let's see here. Stunt Brat 77 Smith. Merry Christmas, my dear. Janet from another planet. Love you, Janet. Merry Christmas to you. Gwagnar, I had to run, but Merry Christmas, Gragnar. Pat S. Merry Christmas, buddy. I know he had to run. Vulcan Lives. Merry Christmas. Let's see. Ravenscroft, Merry Christmas. Had to run, but still, Merry Christmas to you. Ironhide 84, Merry Christmas. Miss Martin Muses, Merry Christmas. RRTNZ, Merry Christmas. I gotta wait till we get to some more that I haven't got to yet. It takes a while. Blunt, Plunt, and Blunt Plunk Reviews, Merry Christmas. Let's see. What right there. Okay. One second here. Where were we? Sorry, folks. Takes a while to get to all of them. John Shaggy Rupus Shaggy, Merry Christmas. Largo's Lair, Merry Christmas. Adrian James, Merry Christmas. Metroplex, Merry Christmas. DJ Ronnie G, Merry Christmas. Victor Fontaine, Merry Christmas. Nobody cares. I care, of course. Merry Christmas, buddy. Wes Cagle, Merry Christmas. Larry, Merry Christmas. Dave C, Merry Christmas. Mockney Draws, Merry Christmas. Fluffy T Cat, Merry Christmas. Let's see here. Almost there. CLS Studio, Merry Christmas. Your Muslim uncle, my friend, Merry Christmas. Look who's here.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas indeed.
I'm in to say hi to everyone.
I'm glad you did. Hang on. Keely Chow, Merry Christmas. Almost done, folks. Almost there. Jacob Ironside, Merry Christmas. Power 800, Merry Christmas. TZ Burton, Merry Christmas. CLS Studio, did I say you? Oh well, Merry Christmas anyway, just in case. Sean Eastep, Merry Christmas. Let's see. Salty Traveling Sea, Merry Christmas. Picasso, Merry Christmas. Claude Salling, Merry Christmas. Gene Roddenberry, Merry Christmas. I'm honored to have you here. And of course, J-Man, Merry Christmas. And the FKHC 2005 Hike, Merry Christmas to you all. And Merry Christmas to the great Chief Engineer Mark D with a C.
Hey, hope everyone had a fantastic day and a fun show tonight. I was at my sister's recovering from Christmas Eve. So, but a fun day. And I didn't want to get on the scale for a few weeks, I think. But
I got to get on one tomorrow.
You got to get on one tomorrow?
I got to go to doctor's. Yeah, doctor's going to put me on the scale tomorrow. Sucks.
Oh, that's the worst timing. You can't.
I know. It sucks.
On the scale after Christmas. That's no fair.
Indeed.
God.
I know.
Scheduled that. Yeah. Well, good luck.
Me. Well, them.
Take some Andy Grav boots.
Merry Quig's nuts. Merry Quee's nuts. Yeah, TZ. Kind of guy. I got to shout everybody out. You know how it goes. Good night, everybody, though. Thank you all for being here. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Well, no, I just want to say.
I said all the goodbyes and stuff.
Yeah, he said all the goodbyes, but yeah, just hope everyone had a great day, and happy New Year coming up, and we'll see you guys all on Wednesday night, I guess, right? Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
And, no Toxic Tuesday.
No Toxic Tuesday tomorrow night.
Is it? Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, there's.
I thought they were doing something tomorrow night.
I don't think there's Toxic. My harebrained. Let's see. Let me check. I don't think there's Toxic. I think we're taking a week off. I think we're taking a week off. But let me check. Super uber quick here.
Thank you, Stephen. Appreciate you, buddy.
But either way,
I don't know. Is there one or
I know
there one?
We do have. I think we're coming back with Rambo First Blood, And
That's
we have a
first
special.
ones this week.
I don't. Let's see. Nick doesn't have anything scheduled on StreamYard, so I think that's coming up next
There
week.
you go. Maybe it's next week.
Yeah. Well, you follow the Twitters and you'll see if it's out. But
I
just wanted to pop in.
I'm glad you did.
Home and just say hi to everyone and hail to West Cagle, everyone in the chat. I want to call out everyone because you just did that. But I got some cool things that I'll be showing next Sunday Night Geekery during the week. So.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
If I hadn't already said goodbye and all the goodbyes, it would be kind of silly to do it now, but we could have. I'll do it if you want to do it Wednesday night or the clubhouse. It's up to you. Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah. No.
All right, everybody. Yep. Well, thank you all, everybody, and again, Merry Christmas. Have whatever's left of your Christmas. We got less than an hour for me, and March is over already, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of.
13 minutes. It's gone. Yeah.
It doesn't last, does it?
Nope.
So good night, everybody, and have a marvelous remainder of your holiday week, because it's still a holiday week. Treat it like Christmas, because even if you have to work, at least you got another holiday next week, so it's kind of cool. Enjoy these holidays before they evaporate. They go by too quick, don't they?
Yep, that's for sure. That's how we get up through the winter in the Northeast there, these holidays.
Yep. Well, good night, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Clobberin time! Clobberonimo!
Is because you're a dumbass.
I just love clobbering time.